Hi, it's Alvi from Luminescence Empowerment Through Ascension and Twin Flame Magic. Now, I've just changed the name, so it's Luminescence Heart Centered Healing on Facebook at the moment and on my website as well. I do energy healing, that's my main thing that I do, and oracle readings, tarot readings, and what else do I do? Oh, mentoring, counseling, spiritual guidance, that kind of thing. But it's from a very earthy, down to earth and realistic perspective. Well, I try to keep it that way, just because that's really what a spiritual journey is being on earth and living a human normal life. Well, kind of normal anyway, with all of its facets, I suppose. Anyway, let's go straight to the cards. The underlying energy of the reading for this week is the Page of Cups. Now, pages always represent a renewal, a resurgence of the energy. Now, this is Narcissus. Oops. This is Narcissus. The story of Narcissus is that he was a very, very beautiful boy and he fell in love with his own reflection. And he spent so much time looking at it that he actually fell into the lake and drowned because he was so sort of self-obsessed, I guess. So that's sort of like a warning, but it's also just this. The energy of the Page of Cups is, it's a young energy. It's like excited sort of energy. But with the cups, it's all water, so it's all self-expression, inner child, creativity, emotions, feelings, love, and all of that kind of stuff. You know, that kind of intuitive feelings and things like that. So what we will probably find with this week's energy is that, we'll just be excited about things that we weren't really excited about before. There'll be a renewal of the energy of creativity and self-expression and self-love. I've got a new post on my blog about how having a core of deep self-love helps you sort of weather the storms of life. If you're interested in that, you can go have a look. I'll leave a link below. Okay, so a renewal of love and emotions and creativity and self-expression and reconnecting with your inner child, which is pretty appropriate for a week where we have that break between Christmas and New Year's. Lots of people have time off, and that's probably the only time of year that they actually get a chance to do a lot of these kind of to stop and just be themselves and connect with their inner child and connect with self-expression and creative pursuits, I suppose. Okay, so the next message is the Chariot. So the Chariot coming up here tells me that this energy is going to come in real quick and real fast. So it's bringing that energy forward. And the next message is the Page of Wands. So here's a very fiery resurgence, renewal. So I'm seeing sort of like with this Chariot energy, this driving forward, it's almost like this. It's bringing in all of this new energy all of a sudden. It's young energy, so it's excited and it's passionate. Like Wands is all about passion and creativity and fire. Like when you get an idea and you get all fired up about it. That's that sort of energy. So what can I say? Maybe like you have a business idea or something that you've been sort of sitting around waiting on and you haven't actually had a chance to move on will suddenly just take off. Something you've been doing or putting a lot of work into will suddenly just take off, even though it might not have looked like it was actually going anywhere. All right, so the next message is the King of Cups. Now the King of Cups is like the master of this energy that we're talking about where we start the beginning of the week with. He's like the mature mature holder of all that energy. So he rides the waves of emotion and creativity and intuition, and he's in touch with his emotions and his feelings, and he expresses his self-expression. It kind of almost looks like, like as I said, something you've been sort of sitting on for a while, or it hasn't really been moving forward, will all of a sudden just take off, and you'll find yourself, it's almost like a growth spurt in a way. This baby energy here, this young energy, it's kind of growing, and it's growing really fast, really quickly, and it might actually take you by surprise. So you may need to sort of channel in that energy of the King of Cups, so that you're riding the waves of all of this. I mean, it's beautiful energy, but any sort of excess energy can take you over and kind of pull you under, if you know what I mean. Like, I kind of sort of think of the King of Cups as surfing the waves of emotion and stuff instead of being dragged under by them. So that may be, a bit of a, how can I put it? It's a bit of a challenge maybe for us. It's giving us the guidance to try and stay afloat in that energy, instead of, like, stay on top of it instead of letting it get away from you. Okay, so the next message is the Ten of Wands. Now this person is trapped by, they've got lots of fire and lots of energy and lots of ideas, but there's too many there, and they don't really know what to do, and they kind of feel trapped and stuck. And it kind of looks to me like there's this boat up here, and she wants to go to the boat, but she kind of feels stuck, like she has to stay home and look after this Jason's golden fleece. I don't really know why she's looking, or maybe that is Jason, I don't know. Anyway, so whoever this is, if this is you, the cards and spirit are asking you to not feel trapped, not get trapped by all of this stuff, not get confused by it all, but to ride the waves of emotion and be a little bit objective about what's going on, and then you won't get dragged under and caught up in, you won't catch on fire or drown in the lake. I know that sounds a bit hideous, but that's probably the best way that I can come up with to explain it. Okay, so the next message is the Nine of Wands. Right. Okay, so I'm getting the story here, right? So it starts off with this young creative energy, but it's sort of self-absorbed. It's a self-absorbed kind of energy. Too busy thinking about themselves to actually put any ideas or creativity or self-expression into action. I don't know, maybe, there was a situation or something that I think in one of my previous readings I did get the indication that, something had happened and it kind of shook the whole, it was a bit like an existential earthquake, and people were kind of scattered and confused and not really knowing where to go with that. And sometimes that can lead to, a bit of self-absorption, because you need to heal and you need to sit and think about it and try and work these things out, So yeah, it goes from this self-absorption and then obviously whatever has been going on with this person who's been, inward. It doesn't mean like, they're a selfish person. It just means that they've taken time out for themselves to try and work things out within themselves, to listen to their own intuition, to listen to, listen to the guidance that's coming from their heart and their inner child, what their inner child wants, and how to deal with whatever it was that kind of, shook them. But whatever's happened is they've come to a decision, and this is the Chariot here, and it's pushed them forward, and it's brought this new fiery, this renewal of this sort of, like emotion and passion and all of that sort of stuff. This could be a love relationship, or it could be, a business idea, a creative pursuit that you're into, and you've been feeling blocked, you're not being, maybe you've been trying to write a book, or do a painting, but you've got writer's block or artist's block, and all of a sudden they'll open the gate and the horses of the chariot will charge forward, and you'll be off, and you'll be riding the waves like the master, the King of Cups, who masters his emotions and all of that stuff. It's just a warning here not to get too caught up in your thoughts and get too confused. I sort of feel like this has got to do with the past. There's a lot going on around this person, and they really just don't know what to do. They're just sitting there staring at that poor old sheep. So this is sort of like the story of Jason and the Argonauts with the golden fleece. So that probably is him sitting in there. But whoever that is, they're confused by all of the stuff going on around them, or they were confused by all of the stuff going on around them. Kind of feels like their head's on fire. They really want to get in the boat and just run away. This one here, the Nine of Wands, they want to get in the boat and run away, and the boat's sort of like, it's almost like the boat almost got there, and then they just got really bummed out because they didn't quite get to this island up here. And this island looks to me like the party island, right? So this person wants to get in the boat, go off and party, and not deal with all of this confusion and all of this stuff that's happening for them. But they kind of almost got there, and then they didn't quite get there, and it's kind of sent them back to this, this getting in touch with their inner self-expression and their inner child, and their intuition and their emotions and stuff, because because they've had to process it, whatever it was that went on. So where are we? This is the outcome. This is the message for the outcome, the Devil. This is actually some people, sometimes in a reading, the Devil will come up, and it represents being stuck, being caged by your own thoughts, being held back by your own animal instincts. That's what I'm getting, because this is Pan, but I think you know what I mean. Being held back by probably like fears and doubts. The Devil is a lot of the devil gets used in religion a lot to scare people into behaving themselves. So that's kind of what I get. But in this deck, the devil is Pan, and he's a nature spirit, and he's all about fun and partying and having a good time. You can see he's playing the panpipe, and the people that he's got on the little leash there, they're not sad, they're not bothered by this, they're happy. It actually looks like a bond, like a soul connection type bond, but it could be a business partnership or something, but past life, soulmate, that kind of thing. But they're having fun, that's the point. Like, yeah, I can just see like all of this, I feel like this energy it's moved forward to a place where whoever it was that was confused and couldn't work out what they wanted here, has learned to surf. They've gone within, and they've got in touch with what they really want, and they've kind of mastered their emotions. They've gotten on the party boat, they've almost got to the island, and I think just by using the energy of the King of Wands to sort of surf the emotions rather than get dragged down by them, they've made it to the party and they're having a good time. And so whether it was you that actually got confused in this situation, like I'm kind of getting a love situation, a relationship situation, a connection situation coming up. That's what I'm intuiting, but I can see that it could also be, a creative pursuit. It could be a business idea. It could be any of those things, and whichever one it is for you, if it's you, then I can see that this will resolve itself in a good time, if you know what I mean. you'll be bonded to it, but it won't take you over. It won't sort of make you feel trapped. You'll be happy that you're there dancing with Pan and having a good old time. And if it is a relationship, so if it was you who needed to take time off and look within yourself, you come to a decision and you know what you want now, and you're heading straight to this, to this island, and whatever it was that stopped you before isn't going to stop you this time. You're gonna get there to go have a party with Pan. you're gonna get to the outcome, which actually kind of looks like fun to me. And if it was another person, then it could be someone who withdrew from you, from a connection before it got off, before it actually got a chance to grow, because of this young energy here. Before it got a chance to grow, this person was really confused. There was lots of stuff going on in their lives, and it almost got there, but not quite. But what's actually happening with this baby energy here, this budding energy, is it's moving forward now. Whatever happens, that they've obviously worked out what they want and sorted out whatever issues it is in their life that was stopping them from moving forward in any way. And I can see that this is a past life connection, a soul connection. I call it a soul connection. Some people call it twin flame, soulmate. Just depends, like there's different ways of looking at these kinds of relationships, but that's what it is. It's something that's it's got more depth than just a normal relationship. There's more to it. But this person, like, I can sort of see that someone might even, return to you, or that's what it kind of looks like. They're coming back in a more balanced way. Maybe things were unbalanced, and that's why they needed to take off and hang out with themselves for a bit, like the Page of Cups did. Anyway, so this bond here, this outcome, this partying with Pan, like it's not a bad outcome. It looks like fun, and Pan is a very sexual kind of energy as well. So maybe as you get back together with them, and it will be cool, and you'll hook up or whatever you like, hopefully. Anyway, so let's just try and clarify this for a bit. So what is this all about, this Devil card? And what will it bring us? Let's clarify this outcome. Trust. It's all about trust. Okay, so yeah. So trust is about it's like trusting in yourself and trusting that there's a bigger purpose to things, and that sometimes when things happen, even though you didn't really want them to happen that way, that they may have needed to happen that way to protect you from worse things. Maybe you were trying to start a business and it didn't work, and if it had actually started, or it had actually gotten off its feet at that time, it could have just been a disaster. So this card, to clarify that it's saying trust that this will happen, trust that your outcome will happen, trust that where you were heading is actually going to get there, and it's going to get there really fast. And because whatever has happened or occurred with the other parties involved, or even within you, it's a sudden growth spurt in your emotions. Like you've suddenly worked out how to deal with it, and cleared away all of this confusion, this fire in the head kind of thing going on here, and and worked out how to get to the party island, and now you're looking for wherever these people are having their dance. And you can see that they're not worried, like, by the fact that Pan's got them that on a leash. Like, it's almost like it's supporting that with the trust. It's like whatever it is it's supported by the divine. It's supported by source, and it's supported by the universe or God, or insert label here. So yeah, so trust that is actually it's a good thing, and that's where it's meant to go. Oh wow, heart chakra. Yeah, this is if you are one of the people who the relationship part of this reading resonates with. This is definitely something to do with soul connections and stuff. That is where we feel all of our past life connections, soul connections, and all of that sort of stuff. It's a very heartfelt kind of connection. So yeah, that's just clarifying that. But trust that it will lead you back to your own heart. It will lead you to fulfill your heart, all of that sort of thing. And one more card. Healing begins. Look at that. So yeah, whatever the situation was, whether it was a business that didn't quite get off its feet and it kind of sent you back into yourself for a little while, a relationship that didn't get going before it actually before you actually got a chance to know each other, or it's something just ground to a halt, creative pursuit that didn't pan out, or you were having writer's block. This week I think will be the week that things start moving forward rather quickly for you, and you just need to trust that this is in your best interest. And this card here is basically, it's saying whatever the situation was, healing is beginning, and that's what's driving us forward. Okay, I think that's probably enough for now. Trying to think what else I need to do. No, I think that's it. Okay, I will see you next week for the weekly reading, or maybe midweek if I get a chance. Bye for now.